Hi, welcome to Represent NYC on the Manhattan Neighborhood Network. My name is Victoria Bird. I'm the producer of this show. And while we all work virtually and from home, we are still trying to get you connected with your representatives here in New York City. Joining me now is Assemblymember Epstein. You're up in Albany, right? Tell me
Yeah,
what's going on up there and what's happening today. Today's the day the budget is due to pass,
yeah.
correct?
So we voted on a bill last night. We'll be going back into session in a little while, voting on three more bills, probably through the night into tomorrow, focusing on the things that we need to deal: school aid, healthcare, taxes, revenue, small businesses, tenants, higher education, the whole panoply of the state budget.
Talk to me a little bit about what you're seeing in your districts and how they're
Yeah,
being affected by the
yeah,
COVID-19 pandemic.
yeah. It's terrible. I mean, across my neighborhood, across the city, we've seen the same thing. I can't imagine how 75% of our small businesses are going to make it. Stores are closed. People are already saying notices saying we're never going to reopen. There's no path for a lot of businesses. They're not making it. The rents are still going up. They have to pay their monthly rent, both the residential and the commercial tenants, and they don't know how they're going to survive. The federal government came in last week with a little support, but it's really not enough. And we've been pushing the state to do more. Unfortunately, the state has its own fiscal problems with a $10 billion shortfall right now because of the lost revenue. We need to really talk about new sources of revenue. And I've been pushing the Assembly and the Senate to push for new revenue sources. Unfortunately, we're not getting there. We're not getting support in the Senate or the Assembly or with the governor, especially with the governor, for new revenue. And we've seen revenue as a tool throughout history in New York. From the 29 to 2008, when we have a shortfall, we ask the people who can afford more to pay more, and we're not doing that this year.
Now, tell me what kind of pushback you're getting when you ask for this, when you ask for, more revenue from on a state level or on a federal level ultimately,
Right.
but on a state, what's the pushback?
Well, they're saying, well, people look how poorly the market is doing. Those people have less, so they're not doing as well. But the reality is that they are. They still have the federal dollars that they've got a tax cut from. They still are doing better than most people. They can pay their mortgage and their rent and their summer home and their cottage and their private school and their tutors. And their day-to-day folks are just not going to make it, and we're going to see evictions. So if we're going to continue to cut money, that's what's going to result.
Your district is the Upper East Side.
The Lower East
I'm
Side,
sorry, the Lower East Side.
yes,
And there's a lot of public housing there as well.
correct.
Um, I know there has been a lot of push for rent freezes, rent moratoriums, rent
Right.
forgiveness. Where have you been in this battle? What have you been?
So there's a couple bills out there. I sponsor a bill around rent freezes because we need to not see increases in rent. I co-sponsor another bill along with Assemblywoman New around 3 months of rent forgiveness. We are also talking about other tools that are available, trying to give commercial give back, saying, well, if a landlord forgives a commercial tenant their rent, they can do a tax abatement for the landlord, so it won't be a cost to the landlord. There are a lot of tools available in our tool belt. We just need to start using them, and we aren't using them today.
Tell me a little bit about the hospital relief and dealing with the shortage of
Right.
protective equipment.
Yeah, it's terrible. I mean, the hospitals are struggling every single day. We've seen in the news every day about Elmhurst Hospital. In my district is Bellevue Hospital, one of the most important H&H facilities in the country and in the state, but also best hospitals in the country. And we're seeing shortages. I heard from residents and nurses saying they don't have PPE equipment. They're struggling every single day. And so we don't have enough equipment. We heard a big shipment yesterday from the governor's office, but we need more. We need more support for our doctors and our nurses. And at the same time, we're talking about the governor's push for $2.5 billion cuts. And that'll have impact not just on our H&H and our health and hospitals, but all our healthcare facilities. One of the facilities by me, Ryan Health, has got a clinic that will lose millions of dollars if these cuts go through.
Mm.
We can't, in this global pandemic, support more cuts.
Your office is physically closed, right? Your office downtown,
Yes,
but
everyone's working remotely.
how can people get in touch with your office?
Yeah, they could. They can email, or they can call. They can call us 212-979-9696. They can email at help.district74@gmail.com. If people know I'm in the 74th Assembly District, they can email me at harvey.district74 harveyfornewyork@gmail.com. They can reach out on social media at Harvey for New York on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and we follow it. We can respond to people and talk to people. What my most important message is people have a problem. We've heard a lot of people having problems with unemployment insurance. Reach out. We can help. We can help navigate this complicated system. Average week in New York is 50,000 people apply for unemployment. Last week, it was 1.7 million. And so the phones are just going off the hook. So people can't get through. It's frustrating, but don't give up. It's not from the date that you apply. It's from the date you lost your job. So if you can't get through, keep trying. You can't keep trying, call my office or your other local member, and we will help you.
What are some of the things that you might be working on that aren't COVID-19 related that you really want people to know about?
Yeah, well, there's so much that we're trying to work on. It's just hard in the context of the budget. There's all the COVID-19 things around education and higher education. People not have access to the technology they need. We hear from our students, both in education and higher education, they have problems with the food insecurity, the housing insecurity. Those will continue. But we also have to think about longer term struggles. We all talk about how we have budget equity. So a big piece that I'm working on this year is to force budget equity into the conversation. And we've been talking about how those who can afford more should pay more. An example is what's called a mezzanine debt tax bill, which says that if I go buy a home and you want to go buy a home, let's say we want to buy the same home, you get private equity money from a private equity source. Someone gives you $300,000. You can go to the purchaser and say, "Hey, I have $300,000 in cash. I want to buy this home. I want to buy the same home." And I'm like, "Well, give me 60 days. I'll have to go get a mortgage. And when I get the mortgage, then I'll be able to purchase a home." Who's the homeowner going to choose? Obviously you, because you have cash on hand. So what private equity money is doing is making it harder for regular people to purchase homes. We do no regulations and no oversight of private equity funds. We have no idea how much money is in the system. We have no idea how it's impacting the real estate market. So I want oversight. I want to tax private equity money the same as as a homeowner, would get taxed. If I file a mortgage, I have a mortgage recording tax. Private equity money has no tax. So we want oversight and regulations over this $1 billion industry to ensure that we have more revenue coming in, which I think will be another $4 billion, plus oversight of an industry that has very little oversight. So the issue after issue like that, sorry for all the details, but there are so many important issues out there just like that we're trying to grapple with every single day.
And it's so difficult because it really is, we're experiencing something that we've never had before that's just taking over everything.
Right.
And
taking over.
Other things are still happening. Other things are still need to be addressed, but obviously they're being dwarfed by COVID-19. Is there a way that you want to tell people to stay up to date on what's happening?
Yeah, I think people should stay up to date. They can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. They should go out, fill out their census form if they haven't done it already, because it's so important to get the census done. And they should reach out. So important to call and email us to let us know what's going on for you, because that's how we have impact on change. If we don't hear from you, we don't know what's happening, and we can't make that change. We can't make things better.
Assemblymember, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you for taking the time, and be safe yourself, okay?
You too. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.